Musharaf has had a severe stammer since childhood.
What's it like getting through school with a stammer?
Hard.
I've taught Musharaf since year 7. His contribution is absolutely wonderful. He could be completely forgiven for not putting his hand up and for not wanting to communicate in any way, shape or form, but he doesn't. And for 5 years he hasn't done. The fact that you wrote, "So how am I going to do the speaking exam? I can't even speak," It tells us that we've got 1 or 2 roadblocks in the way, haven't we, really? Can we, right, one thing, and it's only because I watched the King's speech quite recently, all right?
Okay.
One thing he does, right, because it's a very similar thing to you, in that he just can't get the words out. But one thing he does do is he makes him listen to some music, right? Yeah?
Okay, that's right.
Go for it. 1, 2, 3.
It's the same moment when the trees unloose their soft arms from around you, the birds take back their language.
Bloody hell. That's insane.
Yes.
How did it feel to be speaking fluently?
When I was 5 years old, my doctor told me that I had a speech impediment. He told me it was something... Thank you. He told me it was something that could not be treated and that I'd only be able to communicate through sign language. All I had was a stutter, and yet I went most of my life believing my doctor's words. So I barely spoke. As other kids started finding out I had difficulty getting certain words out, I was bullied every day. On my first day of class, I would hand a piece of paper to the teacher where I requested them to not ask me any questions due to a speaking problem. It was my way out from the humiliation. Seeing others speak fluently and thinking I'd never be able to do that became physically and mentally exhausting. When people treat you differently, it makes you feel like you're barely human. After years of mental torment, I had reached my lowest point, but along came Mr. Burton, who believed thank you, who believed in me when nobody else did. Someone who treated me as a person with potential.
And yeah, I think you deserve that. I never saw Musharaf as any different to anyone else. He was just a cheeky little 11-year-old when I first met him. And we've always had a sort of strong bond of trust between us. We tried many different techniques to try and help him build his confidence in his speaking ability. We'd ring contact centres just to have him talk to the customer representative there. And if you've seen the King's speech, we, of course, tried having him speak while listening to music. He obviously struggled with his speech, but he tried, and he just wouldn't take no for an answer. It helped him improve a lot and gain the confidence he needed and the confidence that he deserved.
I was so used to using paper of very minimal amount of words, but I still remember the first time I spoke properly. For the first time in years, I was able to say my own name. For the first time in years, I realized I had my own accents. I've since started a YouTube podcast where I approach individuals who have their own struggle that they are facing, who may be seen as different for people who often feel like they don't have a voice of their, or that their voice doesn't matter. The podcast provides them the opportunity to use their voice and raise awareness.
Surely the world would be a very much better place if everyone was just that little bit more considerate, that everybody has their own battles. You can never be too busy or too tired or too stressed to just take a minute to be nice to somebody, to check on them, and just be nice.
And for the teachers here today, I want you to stand up because I'd like to address you specifically. Students, if your teacher has impacted your life positively.
Teachers? Brilliant.
Thank you. I want you to show them your appreciation with a round of applause.
Brilliant human beings. The bond between a student and a teacher is so important. If the student can see that the teacher's working for them and with them, and the student is really trying as well, it really goes a long way. If everyone's working towards the same goal, then it truly will go a long way.
Wide, I'd also like to leave you with this. It's important that we embrace our differences because that's what makes us who we are. I stammer is me, and I don't know who I'd be without it.
Absolutely deserved, Mush. Amazing. Don't forget that seeking help is the most important thing you can do, and whilst it's important to accept what makes you stand out, you need to also put the effort in to make sure that you seek the help that you need.
And you need to believe that someone out there cares and will help you work towards your goal if you reach out.
Thanks, Wide.